There is one word that can sum up what we saw today. Painful. Painful is the exact word to use. Going into the game, right, you see the matchups of Joe Ryan and then Trevor Richards being the opener and Bowden Francis going out there and him being the bulk guy, if you want to put it at that. Well, both of those guys did a hell of a job. Jay's offense got them 3 runs through 5 innings. You had a 3-0 lead. Bowden Francis allows a solo shot in the top of the 7th, but nothing more. So it's a 3-1 game. You go to the 8th. They bring in Adam Cimber. And it was an awful performance. This is the problem when you don't have swing and miss. It's been the talking point for Jays fans forever. The lack of swing and miss in the Blue Jays bullpen has hurt them time and time again. And today, it's the same factor. Well, James, what do you mean? Well, all 3 of the hits that Adam Cimber allowed to start his outing weren't hard hit. But with him being a contact pitcher and not a strikeout guy, those balls are going to be put in play. And, with Eric Swanson not available, he's pitched a ton recently. You sure, with bases loaded, nobody out, I would have said screw it. Have Jordan Romano ready and fire him in there for 2 innings. You need it. But they allow Adam Cimber to keep going. He gets a strikeout. Crazy. Then Carlos Correa at the dish. You got a strike on him. And he throws a slider on the outer half, but it's middle. And Correa pulls it to deep left center, and it drops into the first row of seats for a grand slam. Now you're down 2. But they weren't done yet, though. This is the problem. They were not done piling on. A 2-run game, they don't have their closer, right? Because he pitched a ton yesterday. So they don't have their closer, so, 2 runs is a lot, but you figure it out. But then Larnach singles. Then Willie Castro gets hit by a pitch. Cimber has just lost it. They bring in Mitch White. First batter he sees this year for the Blue Jays is Max Kepler, and he hits a 3-run shot. Fastball 95 right down the middle. BP fastball. And you're now down 9-3 or 8-3, I guess. They had a double in the 9th inning, right? Did they hit I think it was an RBI double in the top half of the 9th off of Mitch White. Let me read you the stat lines and how much of a turn this game took, okay? Trevor Richards, 3 innings, 1 hit, 1 walk, and 7 of the 9 outs were strikeouts. Remarkable job from Trevor Richards. Tim Mayza came out there an inning and a third, allowed 1 hit, and that was it. A couple strikeouts as well. He was phenomenal. Bowden Francis, 2 2/3, couple hits, 1 run, the solo shot, 3 strikeouts, nothing more. Did a solid job. Then Adam Cimber got 1 guy out. It was the strikeout with the bases loaded, but allowed 5 hits, 6 runs, all were earned. Mitch White, an inning and 2/3, 3 hits, 2 runs, and 4 Ks. You allowed 8 runs in the final 2 innings of this ball game. Hell, you allowed 7 runs in the 8th. Pitiful. But it shows you the lack of bullpen depth this team, hell, pitching depth in general, but bullpen depth this team has. He had a hell of a job from Trevor Richards, who's been a big reliever for this team this year. Mays has been obviously a key contributor this year. Bowden Francis in his first time, he get 2 2/3. I would have loved to see more of him. I don't know why 2 2/3 and he's done. I would have loved to see him go out there for the 8th inning, but I get it. A 2-run game, right? And he's pitching the big league once in his life, and you're asking him to pitch in the 8th inning of a 2-run game. It's a tough spot. However, what other options do you have? Adam Cimber, Jordan Romano, Swanson's pitched a ton, Jimmy Garcia's pitched back-to-back days. Those are the names that I can remember, at least. Nate Pearson pitched yesterday. He might have pitched back-to-back days as well. Clearly, you didn't have anybody available. And Cimber and Mitch White were abysmal. Flat out abysmal. Now, offensively, the Jays did a fine job. Springer had a couple hits. Bo Bichette went 1 for 4. Oh, by the way, Brandon Belt 1 for 2 with a run scored. But he left the game because when he scored on the RBI single from Whit Merrifield, he's grabbing his hammy. So not only do you blow this game, you might possibly lose Brandon Belt. Great, your hottest hitter. Fantastic news. What else happened? Vladdy 1 for 4 with an RBI. He had the RBI single. Matt Chapman 0 for 3 with a walk and a run scored. Whit Merrifield 2-hit Whit, 2 for 3 with a run scored and RBI in the game. Varsho went 1 for 3 with a walk. He had 9 hits, 6 strikeouts, walked a couple times. You scored enough in this game that you should have won. Period. Right? Absolutely period. Sure, well, James, you scored 3 runs. You had a 3-1 lead in the 8th. You gotta lock that thing down. Or at least keep it close. By the end of the 8th, it was 9-3. Or 8-3, sorry. I got nothing else to say. Tomorrow, Gausman goes, thank God, against Louis Varland, who the Jays saw in Minnesota, and I believe he gave the home run to the Blue Jays. He went 6 innings of 3-run balls, 7 hits, allowed a couple home runs as well. Only 3 strikeouts, didn't walk anybody. So that was his last outing against the Blue Jays, 2 or 3 outings ago for him. For the Blue Jays, I don't know what to say. I mean, the way they've lost games has just been insane. You lose this one in heartbreaking fashion. You see Adam Cimber's reaction after the home run, and it should have been that. And last night, we talked about it already. I'm not gonna reiterate it. It's awful. Figure it out. Salvage one game. That's all we can do at this point. All right. So you know what, guys? That's gonna do it for this one. If you enjoyed the video, and definitely not this game. You know what? Screw it. The first 7 innings to this game, smack that like button. Do appreciate it. Hit that subscribe button. You guys not already. Comment down below thoughts on the video, thoughts on the game. What'd you like, what'd you not like from today's game for the Toronto Blue Jays? Twitter, Discord, Instagram, TikTok, all that stuff is down below. So go check it all out. And I'll talk to you guys Jays edition tomorrow. Actually, Raptors edition. We got a new coach. We'll talk about that very shortly. I'll do a video right after this one, so good stuff there. As for the Blue Jays, they're back in action tomorrow night, 1:37 first pitch at Rogers Center, the finale, the 3-game set against the Twins. Louis Varland and Kevin Gausman is the pitching matchup there. Thank you guys so much for listening and watching. Hope you enjoyed the video, and definitely not these last 2 games, or today in particular. We'll talk to you guys then.